Hello United fans, welcome to the United Report, your go-to source for the latest news, match updates and transfer stories straight from Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim has shared that Sir Alex Ferguson advised him to stay positive prior to Manchester United's crisis worsening with a 3-1 defeat at home to Brighton. Amorim's squad is currently languishing in 13th place in the Premier League table, having been unable to capitalise on Thursday's late 3-1 comeback against bottom-place Southampton. The Reds manager has only managed to secure 6 victories out of his 14 games at the helm, with United showing no signs of the much-needed new manager bounce. Ferguson, who assumed control at Old Trafford in 1986 when the club was in a similar slump, was present for the Brighton match, as United honoured the late Denis Law, who sadly passed away last week, aged 84. During the pre-match tributes, Amorim and Ferguson had an extended conversation. Referee Peter Bankies had to wait for Ferguson to finish his discussion with United's current manager before he could commence the game. After United's 6th home defeat of the season in 12 league matches, Amorim disclosed what he was told. Keep positive, the Portuguese relayed to BBC Radio 5 Live. These weren't the only significant remarks Amorim made following the harsh loss, branding his team maybe the worst in United's history. In the past 10 games in Premier League, we won 2, Amorim admitted during his post-match press conference. Imagine what this is for a fan of Manchester United. Imagine what this is for me. We are getting a new coach who is losing more than the last coach. I have full knowledge of that. We are the worst team maybe in the history of Manchester United. I know you, the media, want headlines, but I am saying that because we have to acknowledge that and to change that. Here you go, your headlines. United found themselves a goal down with just 5 minutes on the clock as Yankuba Minte put the visitors ahead. Bruno Fernandes equalised from the penalty spot, but Brighton's lead was restored on the hour mark. Kaoru Mitoma poked home at the far post shortly after the Seagulls had a goal chalked off by VAR, but there was no denying that one. It then became 3-1 when United goalkeeper Andre Onana made a mess of claiming the ball and gifted Jorginho Rutter a simple finish. There was no comeback, and Amorim will be finding it hard to heed Ferguson's advice. Manchester United want to sign Rayan Aït-Nouri this month as Ruben Amorim pushes for January reinforcements. The Red Devils have endured a torrid season and are currently 13th in the Premier League table under Amorim, who succeeded Erik ten Hag back in November after the Dutchman paid the price for United's poor form. United don't have the funds to overhaul their squad in the current transfer window, but Amorim has identified left-back as an area of the squad which needs bolstering, and Aït-Nouri, 23, is seen as an attainable target. As revealed by The Independent, United are fans of the attack-minded fullback, who is impressed in a Wolves team that has also struggled this season. The Algeria international would likely cost less than Nuno Mendes, another United target. It's said that Paris Saint-Germain will not allow Mendes, 22, to depart for less than €60 million, £50.6 million this month. That sum is beyond United, who would also have to take on the Portugal international's sizable salary. Aït-Nouri has shown he is capable of playing both at left-back and as a wing-back. It's said his adaptability is appreciated by Amorim, who has been forced to deploy Diogo Dalot as a left wing-back with Luke Shaw injured. Tyrell Malacia, United's other senior left-back, is rumoured to be edging closer to a loan move away from Old Trafford after putting his own injury struggles behind him. United, who are also interested in Aït-Nouri's teammate Matheus Cunha, are expected to try and offload players this month in a bid to free up funds for Amorim, who has yet to make a signing since succeeding Ten Hag. Marcus Rashford is one player who seems likely to depart. He has been left out of United's recent matchday squads and has openly admitted he wants a new challenge with a loan move abroad on the cards. Antony is another who could leave on loan, with Real Betis in talks over a move. Casemiro has also been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, with Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte impressing as a midfield partnership under Amorim. It's understood the former Real Madrid star is one of United's highest earners, so shifting him off the wage bill would likely appeal to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the club's power brokers. Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana was guilty of another error in Sunday's match against Brighton, and his teammates weren't able to hide their feelings. There didn't seem to be a great deal of danger when Yacine Ayari swung in a hopeful low ball from the right. Onana made a hash of it though, spilling the ball at the feet of Georginio Rutter, who took a touch and found the empty net. The goal put Brighton 3-1 up and more or less out of sight at Old Trafford, and that's how it ended. Yankuba Minte and Kaoru Mitoma were also on target for the visitors, with Bruno Fernandes briefly bringing United level. Diogo Dalot and Matthijs de Ligt both fell to the floor after witnessing Onana's howler. Fernandes and Noussair Mazraoui could also scarcely believe what they'd seen, with both men putting their heads in their hands. An awful mistake from Andre Onana, former United striker Dion Dublin said on BBC Radio 5 Live. He will not want to look at this. He has no players around him. There is no danger. Just gather it and take it in. Dearie me. United's defeat came despite Brighton seeing a goal chalked off at 1-1. João Pedro thought he had fired his team in front, but a VAR check found Jan-Paul van Hecke to have fouled Dalot moments earlier. The referee's call of goal was checked by VAR, who deemed there was a foul by Van Hecke on Dalot in the build-up and recommended an on-field review, a post from the Premier League Match Centre account read. The referee overturned the original decision and the goal was disallowed. Onana was also guilty of a costly error in December when United lost at home to Nottingham Forest. On that occasion, head coach Ruben Amorim gave the Cameroonian his backing. He saved us a lot of time, so we have to find a way to turn it around and score 2 goals to help our keeper for the way he, for example, saved us at Ipswich, Amorim said at the time. We already knew it would be a long journey, but we want to win. It's a massive job. We need to improve on a lot of things. I had this and worse at Sporting at the beginning. Manchester United is bigger because of the attention, but the feeling for me is the same. It happens in a lot of squads, but you need to keep doing the same things, and it will turn around. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes insisted the team can't accept their recent struggles as the new normal after a 6th home league defeat of the season. United bounced back against Southampton in midweek to return to winning ways, but couldn't repeat that promising performance against Brighton on Sunday. After the two sides exchanged goals in the first half, Kaoru Mitoma and Georginio Rutter struck after the break to seal a league double for the Seagulls. The defeat leaves United in 13th place, closer to the bottom 3 than to the top 4. Head coach Ruben Amorim pulled no punches after the game, saying the way his team conceded those goals was not acceptable. It was Fernandes who scored United's goal, putting away a penalty after Joshua Zirkzee was fouled in the box. Former Red Devils striker Dion Dublin suggested the Portuguese was the only player to pull his weight on Sunday, and it was up to the captain to reflect on the recent woes after the game. It can't be, Fernandes told Sky Sports when asked if this was just how things will be going forward. I understand the perspective from the outside, but we can't be comfortable in thinking that this is okay. Because it's not. I'm not here to lose games and be in the position we are in at the moment. But I know that no one in that dressing room is, and if someone is, they can't be here. It doesn't matter to me. It's another loss to us. It doesn't matter how many times they've won against us. I remember in the past where they haven't won a game here. That's not going to change anything. The main thing that is going to change for us is we didn't get the 3 points today. Congratulations to them. They did a good game, and they deservedly won the game. 6 home league defeats matches the number suffered by United in the whole of the 2023-24 season. 4 of the 6 this term have come under Amorim, while Erik ten Hag led the team to 3-0 reverses at home to Liverpool and Tottenham before his October sacking. The club have a chance to put their league woes to one side on Thursday, with a home game against Rangers in the Europa League. 3 points against Philippe Clement's side would bring them one step closer to a top 8 finish in the league phase, ensuring they would progress to the round of 16 without needing a playoff. After that comes a trip to Fulham in the league. Fernandes scored a late winner when the teams met at Craven Cottage last season, but Marco Silva's side are unbeaten in their last 5 at home in the league either side of a win against Watford in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim took aim at his players for their unacceptable 3-1 home loss to Brighton, who he admitted were comfortable at Old Trafford. The Red Devils looked to have turned a corner after a spirited 2-2 draw against league leaders Liverpool earlier this month before late heroics from Amad Diallo helped them beat Southampton 3-1 in midweek, but they were well off the pace against the Seagulls. United were at 6s and 7s early on in the game as Yankuba Minte was able to tap in with ease after Kaoru Mitoma raced clear before Bruno Fernandes equalised from the spot. Mitoma then made it 2-1 before Jorginho Rutter added a third on a sorry afternoon for the club. The team have now lost 10 matches, the quickest they have reached double figures for defeats since the 1989-90 season, with United now 13th in the Premier League table and closer to the bottom 3 than the top 3-4. Amorim was fuming after the game, suggesting his players had repeated mistakes from previous games by suffering goals where we cannot suffer. Another loss at home. It's not acceptable, the way we suffered the goals, he said. We can play some football, but only in small spaces of time, so it's not consistent, and we get nervous, and then we suffer a goal. Again, in the beginning, it's one play that is clearly what Brighton do. Then it's really hard to turn things around. We get really anxious, really nervous, and they were better again. Brighton were comfortable. We tried to get back into it, but with not very good football. You can see this game, and remember Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest, where we were in the game, and suffer goals where we cannot suffer. Then it's really hard for everybody. We lost again at home. It's not acceptable. We need to change that, and change fast. United's loss was compounded by a woeful mistake by goalkeeper Andre Onana, who came out to collect a low cross before fumbling it and allowing Rutter an easy tap-in into an open goal. Amorim did not attempt to defend the Cameroonian keeper, and while he did not linger for too long on his error, he insisted the team could not afford to end a match in that manner. I think you felt it in the stadium, but we cannot end the game like that. Everybody out of position, so we have to end the game in a different way. No matter the result, we have to be a different team in all aspects. Amorim gave an eye-opening response when asked if United's struggles would continue, as he admitted the team would suffer as they adapt to his methods. That is clear, he said. Because I'm not going to change the way I see the game. I'm very clear on that. The players are going to suffer. I'm sorry, the fans are going to suffer. I have one way of doing things. I know it's going to bring results. But we have to suffer these moments. I think it's very clear for everybody what we are going to do.